Hey folks, welcome back to another thought session with your boy Andy here. Apologies for looking a little bit scruffy at this time, but I can assure you by the next video, I'll be nice and cleaned up. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Life is going to test you, me, any individual that we know, so on and so forth. It's either going to do one of two things. It's going to push all it has to throw at you all at once. Or life may take the more painful route for you and throw things at you one after another. Throughout my life, I know this to be true because, well, I've faced it. I faced both getting everything all at once and going through certain things one after another. In certain cases, maybe you're trying to perfect a craft of some sort, and for whatever reason, there just seems to be some type of hindrance that keeps popping itself up every single time. Maybe you're in high school and you're trying to get certified for something, get a certificate, because if you do that, it ends up being college credits to go towards college. But here's the kicker. You worked hard, you got the college credits, and the college you're applying to doesn't want to accept it. Or last but not least, you finally turn into a parent in your late 20s. Now, not only do you have to relearn what it means to be a kid, because, well, you were a kid once, I was a kid once. So not only do you have to relearn that aspect, but now you have to take that and then tailor it to your child because, well, your child's going to be different from when you grow up. They're going to have their own mannerisms and so on and so forth. So you got to think a little bit outside the box when it comes to that. And with that, sometimes you just feel like no matter what you think about, it kind of ends up not being enough. At least that's the way you feel. I know that one struck a couple of heartstrings for a few folks, especially millennials like myself, who just happen to have their first or maybe even second child at this point. But you see, through the adversity, through the struggle, heck, even through all of the hard work and dedication you seem to be putting into it, even though it looks like everything is failing around you. As humans, we still have one thing, one tool in our human toolbox that we can go ahead and try to tap on, provided we know how to use it. And that thing is called perseverance. So, you see, by definition of the goggle, and I'm going to read it verbatim here. Google. Perseverance is, and I quote, persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. Okay, cool. Now, let's get one thing straight. Perseverance is not easy to attain at all, especially when it feels like everything is falling apart around you and you just don't know what to do about it. Maybe it's your boss telling you or critiquing you on every single thing that you're doing, even though you're following everything to the book. Maybe it's people telling you you'll just never make it in the thing you're trying to do, in the change you're trying to make. Or maybe, just maybe, it's a teacher and or professor who constantly is heckling the crap out of you because, unfortunately, you corrected them not once, not twice, but 3 times on certain things they were trying to teach, and now they're upset at you. So I guess the question is then, how does one build up perseverance, especially when it feels like everything is just for naught at this point? In my life, from what I've learned, and I'm sure I'm not alone when I say this, but in order to build up to perseverance, you need to find that one fine line that you can cross over in order to be able to show that true perseverance. So let's go ahead and run a scenario real quick that will probably make it a little bit easier for you guys to understand. So let's go ahead and say that for whatever reason, you are absolutely in love with engineering. You love to tinker with things, you love to mess with things, and no matter how much people keep telling you that engineering is really hard and you should probably stick to a major that, it's a little bit easier just so you could fly through college, you didn't listen. And you wanted to do engineering more than anything itself. It was in your heart, and it was life's way of telling you, this is what's meant for you. You felt that way. So now let's say you finally did it. Let's go a little bit back. Let's say you finally did it. So you got into as good of a public high school as you can that happens to have an engineering program in architecture. And you thought, okay, cool, let's try it out. And then you get introduced to one of the greatest mind-blowing things you have ever seen. CAD software. CAD stands for Computer Aided Design. For some, the easiest example that I got for you is the entire Autodesk suite of apps like AutoCAD. So now you're on cloud nine, you couldn't be happier. You are telling everybody underneath the sun, your mom, dad, all the people you love, your close friends, you're telling strangers with an ear-to-ear grin, and more importantly, you are running home to go ahead and make sure you tell the last stuffed animal that you have called Mr. Fluffy Bottoms, because millennials, I'm pretty sure the majority of them still have one. Hashtag Mr. Fluffy Bottoms. So now you start topping all of the engineering-based classes that you can get your lovely little hands on. You are doing good grade after good grade after, matter of fact, no, you're doing great grades all across the board. So much so that you were recognized out of 10 total students to be taken on an all expenses paid engineering trip to Boston, to go to an engineering camp, engineering trip for an engineering camp for students from all across the country that are doing engineering or some form of engineering, whether it be industrial engineering, mechanical engineering, so on and so forth. But it's engineering nonetheless. And you couldn't be happier. I loved it. I loved it so much. But then you come back. You go home. And you start thinking to yourself, compared to the rest of them at that camp, I don't think I showed as much enthusiasm as they did. Is something wrong? Do I not like engineering anymore? No, that's not it. I still love engineering. Engineering is the thing for me. So you start thinking again, then what is it? Maybe it's architecture. Do I really want to do architecture? Or is there something else? Think. Wait a minute. You used to love, well, actually, you still do love aviation to this very day. I wonder, could I take in parentheses engineering plus CAD design, close parentheses, times airplanes? Is there something for that? According to the universe, yes, there is. It's called aeronautical engineering. Okay, think again. Is there a college that is offering that? Yeah, there is. Can I get a scholarship for it? Yes, you can. Does this college exist in my state? Not only does it exist in your state, it's 30 minutes from your house. Okay, so now things are falling in your favor. You got into the college. You got the scholarship. And for the first 2 years of college, everything is going exactly how you thought it was going to go. And then colleges do what colleges do best and ruin everything by first raising tuition, and secondly, even though you were told when you got into the college that the curriculum that you got in with was going to be the curriculum that you graduated with, the college then, after 2 years, tells you, oh, by the way, we're going to change it and there's not a thing you can do about it. You're going to have to live with this. You're going to have to graduate by this. And if you don't, well, you don't graduate. So now naturally, as any other college student, you start to worry about how high tuition is. But more importantly, you start to worry about how densely packed this new curriculum is with things that you just don't need. I can understand technical writing because, well, you need to learn to write a good resume. But what does English literature have to do with the type of engineering I want to do? I wonder. Maybe somebody can comment in the comment section below. Who knows? So, naturally, as you start to gain all of this newfound worry, your grades start to slip, your passion for this whole engineering thing starts to slip. More importantly, your passion for a lot of things start to slip because it's just constant worry after constant worry after constant worry. The worst part about it is you start to beat yourself up because not only do you feel like you're letting everybody that's rooting for you down, you start feeling like you're letting yourself down. After all of this work, all of this dedication you put into it, everything's failing around you. Like I said, the grades start to slip and so on and so forth, but part of that also got triggered by having some not so helpful and not so positive friendships. And more importantly, that led to not studying so much anymore and not worrying so much anymore. And that part's on you. So you go into a depressive state. You just start sulking, you're crying, you don't know what to do. And you've been like this for a couple of months. But then enough is what you said. And you finally muster up the courage to ask yourself this one very long question. So you ask yourself, I completely botched this whole engineering thing. I was with the wrong people. I didn't focus where I was supposed to focus, and I completely botched it. But I don't want to botch aviation. I still love aviation all the way down to my very core. Aviation is what I am. What can I do? What can I veer off into for aviation that can still keep me on a path that I'm proud to be on? And then it hit me because the universe gave you the answer. So now you start applying for jobs, and slowly but surely you find a job in a major airline in the United States, and you get an internship with them for their air safety investigations team, where, because of your engineering, you thrived. Not only did you thrive, but your tenfold amount of work landed you a full-time position after 1 year of internship as a flight safety analyst. You worked tenfold again. And now you're a senior analyst for flight safety. And even more so, you work tenfold yet again. And now you're a prospect manager. Provided that you have all of the cards that these people are looking for, you're going to be a manager. All of that perseverance, all of that to say that you persevered. Through all of the adversity given to you, you still kept fighting. And now look at you. For those of you that didn't catch on by now, yes, this is my story. And I'm pretty sure I blew it. I'm pretty sure I blew it throughout the entire thing when I was explaining it. But nonetheless, this is my story. This is what happened to me point for point. And albeit, yes, a lot of details were left out just to try and keep this video as short as I possibly can make it. But judging by the time down there that I'm looking at this recording, I'm doing a poor job at that. So, nonetheless, I hope that what I was trying to convey through that scenario was that I found my fine line. And I persevered, went over that fine line, and now I'm in a position where I'm almost a manager. And because of me doing that, it not only fulfills my inner child, but it definitely fulfills my outer adult. Perseverance is not for the faint of heart. Let me tell you from experience. It's just not for the faint of heart. I even know that this very video itself is going to be heckled by all the dislike hecklers, especially with how petty they've been being as of recent. But even with that, I still persevered through it. I still worked hard through it. Just to show that I'm not going to let somebody who can't have a adult conversation with me in the comment section below, put me down. I'm going to keep fighting. There are people out there like me. There are people out there that are struggling, that want to persevere, that can persevere and get to the very top of what they're trying to get to the top of. And I know they could do it. If you can't keep getting up after being knocked down multiple times in the thing you're trying to go through, then maybe, just like me, you have to find that variation. You have to make that slight shift. Find that variation. Find that fine line. Cross it. See where you get. And I promise you, you will get somewhere. You will find your niche. You will persevere. And you will make it. I'll catch you on the next one.